Most people look at a tall, overgrown palm tree and immediately start thinking about hiring a professional service or dragging a heavy, dangerous ladder out of the shed. But then there is this setup from URBANVISTA. It is essentially a massive, modular reach tool that lets you stay firmly planted on the ground while you tackle branches that are honestly way too high for comfort. The first thing that hits you when you pick up the box is how much fiberglass is actually in there. You get 9 individual poles, and the idea is that you can snap them together to reach up to 30 feet. Now, here is a bit of a reality check. While the manufacturer says you can go that high, they also drop a pretty smart hint that you should probably stick to 8 sections if you want to keep things stable. Once you get past that 8th pole, the physics of a long, thin rod start to work against you, and it gets a little wobbly. It is not a deal breaker, but it is definitely something to keep in mind if you are trying to be surgical with your cuts. The build quality feels surprisingly solid for something that has to be lightweight enough to hold up in the air. The walls of the poles are about 1.8 millimeters thick, and they use a threaded, rotatable interface with a dual-lock system. It feels secure, and it does not have that cheap, rattling sensation you get with some of the flimsier extendable tools out there. The whole thing weighs in at around 15 pounds, which is manageable, but you are definitely going to feel it in your shoulders after a few minutes of overhead work. The cutting end is where the real work happens. You have got these SK5 alloy steel shears that handle smaller twigs with a clean snap, and then there is that double hook saw blade. The Teflon coating on the blade is a nice touch because it keeps the sap from gumming everything up, which is usually the first thing that ruins a good saw. The hook design is clever, too. The top one grabs those annoying, wispy branches, and the bottom one acts as a saw for anything up to about 4 inches thick. It is a versatile setup for general yard maintenance, especially if you have pines or oaks that just keep growing toward the power lines or the roof. If there is one thing to watch out for, it is the learning curve. Maneuvering a long pole is a bit of an art form, and you will probably find yourself swinging it around like a giant fishing rod for the first few minutes until you get the hang of the balance. It is not a replacement for a chainsaw if you are clearing a forest, but for the average homeowner who just wants to clean up the canopy without risking a fall, this thing is a pretty solid companion to have in the garage. It is practical, it is well made, and it saves you from having to play acrobat in your own backyard.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.